1, 2, 1, 2. Yours truly, the boy. Back with Talk2 Podcast. Okay, I want you guys just to feel these vibes, which I had before. But listen, here's something funny that happened. I started recording and the mics weren't plugged in. Okay, listen, we're back. Okay, I'm here with Jerome.
Yeah. What's going on, people?
And I'm here with IZI. Okay,
hello,
if you guys
everyone.
don't know, IZI, go on, say hello to the people, man, so they can hear.
Hello, people.
Okay,
What's up?
So IZI was here on the first episode, and we spoke about the interracial couple thing. If you haven't listened to it, go ahead and check it out. And just before that, if you guys didn't hear off the mic, Jerome was just complaining. Why wasn't I in that episode? That's because we met after.
I got something to say.
He was late. No, we're gonna talk about it. Listen, we can talk about it now. But listen, I want to find out first how you guys doing. Lockdown level 5. How you guys feeling?
This is a strange one. Like compared to the first one, I think I find this odd, and I tell you why. Right? Like just the other day, I had what's his name? Leo said that apparently non-essential stuff should not be sold. So you basically
Who's Leo for the people that don't know?
That's the
T-Shock. Okay.
Right? So basically, you can walk into a store and buy as much booze as you want, right? But you cannot go into a store and buy a winter jacket for your son or buy a toy for your son. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around the reasoning.
Why is alcohol essential?
For the life of me, I can't figure it out because it has to be the dumbest decision I've ever had in my entire life.
Well, Irish people love that drink. But listen, they say only socks and boxers are like this for clothing, and they also shut down the toy aisle.
Yeah.
I don't know how's that going to work over Christmas time.
I mean, look, you're urging people to stay home. Now, for those of us who have kids at home, it's hard to keep a child entertained in the house. Yeah. You need like 1,000 toys. So if you shut down the toy department, what are we supposed to do? If you can't buy a jacket
Peppa Pig, man, on replay. Play down replay.
Lord have mercy. No, I don't let my son watch no TV.
Oh, for real?
Oh,
no.
Oh, I like
no
that.
TV.
Okay, if you guys don't know, Jerome and IZI are one of those people. No social media, we talk about that. But why?
We read books. Look, I think you're better off stimulating your child through stimulating their imagination by reading a book than watching TV. You don't want your child to be glued to a TV by the time they're 14, 15. The only thing they know what to do is look in front of a computer screen. Do you know what I mean? So for me, what I do in the day, I bring him to the park. I bring him in the woods. And then in the evenings, we can play board games. I read books and stuff to challenge his imagination. So
but
he can
only
think for himself.
He's still only like what?
He's 15 months now.
That's like he's like 1 year and like 3 months, isn't it?
But can I interrupt you guys for a second? Props to you. I just love what you said.
Thank you.
It was just 2 days ago that I watched a documentary on exactly what you just described. And actually, children under the age of 5 cannot grasp 80% of what they visually see on a screen. Their brain just doesn't get it. And so basically, if you let the child use the time it's awake, sitting in front of digital screens, this is like a time being wasted. Because when the child sleeps, it develops its brain, its cognitive training, blah, blah, blah. So when the child is awake, you should put as much time as stimulating its brain as possible. So I just love how you just introduced what you do at home. That's amazing.
Well, aren't you guys the nerdy?
I don't want to go off topic too much.
My kid is good. My kid on TV is going to be... Nah, I'm only joking.
You hear that? You don't hear that too much often.
Yeah, too often. I'm surprised by that, Jerome.
There's a danger in that because I think, look, if you look at TV these days and the kind of content that's out there, I'm not quite sure I want my son to be that exposed to TV. I mean, look at the way we come up. There was no TVs. You listen to the radio and you go off and play the whole day.
Exactly.
But that sparked our imagination. Do you know what I mean? You push around bricks pretending they're cars. Do you know what I mean? That was our toys. We made our own toys because we had an imagination.
I remember that. We made it of cans and everything.
Exactly. Yeah. We used our imagination, whereas today, whatever they see on TV, they want to get. Because it's right there. So they're using advertisement and subliminally putting this in a kid's minds That if a child sees a toy on TV, next thing, Daddy, I want this.
I want, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you don't get them exposed to this, and I'm not saying there's, like in moderation. Yes, you can, you can have the child watch a little bit of TV, but within reason. But this first thing in the morning, you slap on Peppa Pig, and the whole day that's running over and over and over. For me, it feels like you're trying to create a zombie out of your child.
Exactly. Kind of.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yo, who was the last
You put
person
that
who told me
nice
they were put? Oh, I know. I won't call any name. I know the last person who told me they had the kids watching the same show over and over again. Okay, that's cool. I mean, you guys are parents. You guys can choose what to do with your child, but you guys let me know if you agree with Jerome or not. But I think it makes perfect logical sense, even though I don't have any kids or whatever. On another note, guys, I wanted to ask you guys something. I was reading a quote, not a quote, but something that Prince Harry said. He said, he says his marriage to Meghan Markle. Obviously, if you guys don't know who Prince Harry is, he's the grandson of the Queen.
Oh, yeah, that's the
son of
ginger
Diana.
dude, is it?
Yeah, that's
I'm just playing. I'm stupid.
son of Diana. And he said his marriage with Meghan Markle has made him more aware of unconscious bias towards black people, as he urges people to join the fight against racism. You understand? So I found that very intriguing. Very, I was like, wow. Obviously, him being super close to his wife, stepping away from all that stuff that the queens were doing their own thing on their side and stuff like that. And I obviously, easy with me. You and I spoke about this. I spoke about this with Jerome as well. About unconscious bias. You understand? And there was an interesting documentary. What is the name of the documentary again? Easy, you probably know more information about this.
The name is very simple. It's Unconscious Bias.
Unconscious Bias. Okay. That is.
Is that on Netflix?
No.
That is not on Netflix. You have to pay for it if you want to watch it.
Yeah.
Right.
But I had the chance to talk with the director and the producer.
Yeah.
And so,
What's her name again?
Robin Hauser.
Robin Hauser, yeah.
Robin Hauser
Yeah.
Reynolds.
She's American, is it?
She's
Yeah.
an American, US-American film producer and director. And she, as far as my research showed, she earned like 13 international awards in the last 7 years. So in the American scene, she's really like a figure.
She's qualified. I think there's
She's
another
qualified.
director there who's Irish as well. I forgot her name. But there's a bunch of people. If I can just look through here and let you guys know. But I was very taken by surprise by that whole thing. You understand? Because there's also an IAT test you can do online that tells you exactly
How biased
biased you are. But I don't think I needed to take the test.
No, you don't.
You understand? If you see one black dude fighting
I think reality of this is this. Each and every single one of us is biased in one way or the other about something. Look, there's, as far as I understand, there's, I think, two forms of biasness. So there is the implicit, which is the unconscious, I think, and then the explicit, which is, the blatant biasness. I don't like you on racial grounds.
Yes, that's the one I want to touch up on.
That's explicit. That's in your face. But then there's the implicit, the unconscious one that you're barely even aware that you're being biased.
Yes.
But it's imbued. It's within you, but you don't even realize you're doing it. Do you know what I mean? What's the best example I can use? Let me think.
Should we use the question? This very interesting
question.
Okay. Let's ask this question to Jerome.
Jerome,
okay. Jerome, let's see how huge your implicit bias is. Okay, imagine the following situation. It's not a joke. It's not a trap question. It's just a real scenario.
It's not a riddle either. You guys can answer this too.
Exactly. It's for everybody. Just imagine the following. An accident happened. A car accident. In the car, there was a man, a father, and his son. So the man asked the father and his youngest son. When the accident happened, the man died. Only the son survived, and he was taken to hospital with injuries. And in the hospital, how do we say that?
They had to do a surgery on the boy.
The surgeon who was treating that little boy, said, "I cannot operate this boy. He is my son." Now, who is the surgeon?
Whoa, wait.
Again, I will summarize.
Let me explain it better.
Wait.
Let me do it quick.
Do it quick. Okay, do it quick.
It's like this. All right. A father and his son get into a car crash. Okay. They get into a car crash. Their father dies. Dead on arrival, whatever. The ambulance takes his son, takes him to a hospital, and he needs surgery. Okay.
Right.
Once they put him on the table, the surgeon, the lead surgeon who's supposed to operate on the kid, says, "I cannot operate on this kid.
He's my
He's my son."
my son.
Who is the surgeon?
Is the surgeon, and it's
Chill.
See, the only thing I can think of, right, that the dude that died in the accident, right, and the surgeon were probably a gay couple.
No.
No?
I went there. I went on a gay couple.
I give you a few.
No, don't give no hints because you're talking to
I
people.
said I will give him a few more seconds.
Okay.
I just wanted to say, when I got the answer, I was like, shit, is my bias that deep?
Yeah.
Is it that? It's because it's so simple.
Where?
Yeah. Where am
Let's
I?
give him a few more seconds, man.
3,
Nah.
2,
Chill.
1.
I can't think of any other scenario though.
Can you not?
He's my son.
Can I say?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Go for it. Put me out of my misery.
The surgeon is his mother.
Oh shit. Oh, see, there it is right there.
There it is.
There it is right
and the
there.
film started off with
Yeah.
that question. I was like, now she has me. Now she has my attention. In that.
See,
That's how the film starts.
Unconsciously, we're biased. And you know what?
And
now that you mention it.
let me just ask you. You thought it was a man too, yeah? Because you said maybe, bro. That's bad. Because when when I was watching the documentary, it was only available for 24 hours. I got the link. She sent me the link, and I was watching it. And at that moment, I was kind of like, oh, man, I have to watch. What's this thing all about? Is this going to be beneficial? And then when I heard that question, I stood up straight away. I was okay. You got my attention.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let me watch what's this all about. You understand? Because everyone, I'm quite sure people that are listening right now thought, oh, it's the gay couple, or maybe his wife lied to him. He's like the secret father or something like that.
Exactly.
Bro, I looked for so many
who
answers,
is
bro.
the
I was
third
so
person?
disappointed.
Do you know what's sad
in myself.
though? It goes to show how deep this thing goes, and especially when it comes to women, there is a biasness around, geared towards women that a lot of us men don't really, we don't seem to understand exists. Like it lies in spaces like, if a dude marries a girl, right? Automatically, do you ever? Let me rewind and come back. Do you ever listen to some dudes and they talk about, me, my wife? Yeah, it's not. I don't allow my wife to work. My wife's job is to
cook at home in the kitchen, all that kind of stuff.
So, but if you ask them, if you go deeper than that, and you ask them where they actually get this mentality from, it's rooted in them because you kind of grow up seeing that. So but it is a biasness in itself, because what if she wants to work? Because at the end of the day, she's not your property.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But we all have these sort of biasness. Look, I've been checked by my wife a couple of times because I said something stupid without even realizing how it sounds, and then you play it back in your head and you're like, oh, yeah, okay. Do you know what? My bad. Actually, yeah, when I played it back in my head, it sounds awful. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I know, but dude, I was so disappointed in myself.
I know.
Because I look at any of these scenarios, I always think about my sisters. I always do. Like whenever I look into this, I'm like, okay, my sister, what would my sisters think? And that's the way I always think. Like I want my sister to have a better life and stuff like that. And I always go there. But like for me to be like, oh man. And the worst part is for you, it's possible for you to be able to overcome that slowly if you train yourself, if you really care about that, to be honest. I don't know what you think,
Well, I think the more educated people are, and the more they circle in a diversity of society, the more they tend to think that they have less bias, less implicit bias.
Yes.
And even that seems to be just a facade to me. It seems to be an illusion. And like, I don't exclude myself from that.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously. But I think you can never reach being free of bias. You can never reach the state of mind. And this is something which is like sad on the one hand, but it's also like natural on the other hand.
Yeah.
Because if people would run around not having any pre-images of anything they see, they would run into danger, you know? If you see a car coming to you and you're like, oh, this car looks nice, but it doesn't slow down, never mind. Maybe not the best example, but if people would walk around being blind, then you could easily put yourself in danger. So you can look at it from like two perspectives.
That's interesting way you put that, because I mean we have preconceived ideas to save us from danger, and I think you can't walk around without any preconceived ideas. That's the only thing, everything we know is through learning. We're told whatever we know. That's you're told that. You've not really made up your mind that this is what it is. Someone told you this is what it is, until you get to a stage in your life and you start questioning things. Now, sadly, not everyone questions things. There's a lot of people that go through their lives thinking, look, I read this in a book, so that's how it is.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
But you know what's funny though? A few years ago, I think it was 2017, and I was in Paris for like the very first time. I'll be in France, but I've never been in Paris. I was in Paris, meeting with my cousin, and they came from Africa, my auntie, and all that kind of stuff. And we're like, for me, I've grown up here in Europe, it's normal because the unconscious bias goes deep and strong in Africa, because of the culture and everything that goes on there. That's one thing, if I can wish I can take it back from us, you understand? But then again, that's a story for another episode. But listen, my cousin, we were walking and we were going towards to catch the train. And my cousin looks at the bus and there's a female driver. He's like, look! Oh my God, there's a female driving the bus! And I'm like, dude, behave yourself.
Calm down.
He's like, there's a female driving the bus. I can see her, look at her, there's a female driving the bus. And I'm like, oh, there's females here that drive the bus. Like, dude, it's everywhere. You're in Europe. But no, like, it's not like that in Africa. Like, you're in Europe. And that image always stayed with me. And when I say that, when that question was posed at the start of the documentary, and that's when I kind of like went to my head and I was like, I'm nearly like my cousin. Not like I was judging my cousin, but like I'm just as bad as him.
But you see, he's this one thing I've just thought about this. I think sometimes biasness is based on biasness, I suppose, sometimes works hand in hand with culture. So based on your cultural upbringing and your cultural beliefs, and even your religious beliefs, you might find yourself being biased based on what you believe in and what your culture is about. Because, I mean, how many times do you hear people of different religions believing that everyone Muslim is got to be a terrorist?
Yeah.
You know? But yet, in reality, that's not what the actual religion of Islam is about. It's about peace and unity and brotherhood and togetherness and all of this.
Complete opposite.
It's the complete opposite.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But it's because of what media puts out there and what they what they believe Osama bin Laden to be and whatnot and all of this. So they come across with this kind of biasness. And some people don't even understand why they're biased towards Muslims. And that's just an example.
Yeah.
Right? And in the same breath, if you take...
You can say the same thing about Muslims too.
Oh, yeah. So
Muslims and Muslims.
It's vice versa. It works both ways. It's a two-way traffic. It's
Black
the same
people
thing.
too.
It's the same thing like an African when if an African, like you said, your cousins were coming from Africa. So they have a different perception of what things look like. And they have a different expectation of what Europe is supposed to look like. Yeah. So then they get here and they get a serious cultural shock. But it's based on their own biasness because they have this preconceived idea of what things are supposed to be like in Europe. Same thing applies. Europeans, have you never got someone from around here asking you, oh, do you guys have houses in Africa? They're like, yeah, from here. No, we don't. We live in trees.
Or this, listen, or this, like when you land in Africa, do you immediately see cows and lions? I'm like, bro, who told you this? Didn't you finish school? Like,
So, but it's the
bro, if I look at people like that, I'm like, don't talk to me anymore. Like, fam.
but we're all part of the same thing, and I think as
We
a
are.
collective, as the human race, like you were saying, you cannot get to a point where your mind has biasness because we build these mental images of things, right? Which is the exact opposite of what the reality of the situation is. So
But
you're
don't we, I don't mean to cut you there, but don't we need to be able to practice this at least so when the next generation comes, they will practice, and then the next generation, at least 3 or 4 generations after, it's less biased. Don't we need to kind of like be able to be on that energy, you know?
I think maybe this topic evolves same as discussions about racism, about pay inequality, about like just inequalities between genders, and maybe we will have a better world concerning this issue in like 30 years from now on. But I think this can only work like if as you refer to, Jerome, media also takes up this and also puts emphasis on it, because
They would never do that.
I wouldn't say that.
Because you're a media
I
person.
wouldn't say that.
no, the media
There
is
are-
biased.
The media is biased,
I mean,
but there
look-
are also people and also media outlets who have the power to actually influence public opinion or public awareness of anything.
Oh yeah.
And if
That
that
I agree
happens in the next, let's say, decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, then I think this topic might actually get more awareness. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I suppose with the introduction of the internet and stuff like that, it might change. But if we're to stay within
We've
the
been on
old-
internet since like what, the 90s?
But
yeah,
this
but
is
the
not
still out
construct
here.
of media, the construct of media has only recently changed.
Exactly.
The construct of media, man, if you go back to let me give you an example, to times like Hitler's time, right? There were radio stations then. Hitler had his own TV station way before the Americans got TV, right? But he used this for propaganda purposes. Okay, so
Obviously, I mean, why not if you're a dictator? Like, you know?
do you know what I mean? So, but what that creates is a biasness because he used this as propaganda, which created a biasness towards the Jews, hence the Holocaust. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, unless I think for me, with the introduction of the way media and the internet is working and how easy it is to share and send off information, I think this new construct, we might see a difference in how biased people are. But the old construct, no, I don't think so.
And you have to consider the fact that the World Wide Web actually gives more people an opportunity to raise their voice. If we look at the time back when there only were like newspapers and TV, the individual had less power to raise its voice because there were just no possibilities.
No.
And now you can step online, and if you manage to create a platform, you can spread your message. And if it's positive, the better it is.
This
So
is
I
the
think-
era of the people.
I think we have to look like on internet as a baby in this situation because it's only 30 years old.
That's a
And
great
in
way
regards
put that.
to the whole media development of the last 80, 100 years, this is just a baby, and there
It
is
is.
huge potential in it, I feel like.
There's a huge potential and a potential danger in it.
Yeah,
You know, like with
absolutely.
everything, you cannot look at just the positive. Everything, what's that law? Is it Newton's third law of motion, action, and which
Off
way
the
is that?
rip, I have no idea what you're talking
So
about. to be honest.
action and reaction have opposite and equal. You get
Equal
so it's
action
that.
or whatever,
So
something like that. I heard.
yeah, so there's opposite ends to everything. So this has potential of doing 100, but it equally has potential of doing 100 in the negative direction as well.
Yeah,
That's true.
Do you know what I
That's
mean?
true. But isn't that what's happening and stuff like that? That's why you have news, kids watching porn,
That's why you have this
etc.
podcast,
You
spreading
understand?
positive
No.
messages.
Yeah, this is the podcast is definitely positive. Listen, on the media situation, I want to talk to you guys about You guys are nowhere near social media, nor that you guys talk about social media, but yet you guys speak so nice of the internet and the media. Speak to me about this. We're gonna start with you, Izzy. You talk to us about I don't know. Give us your opinion. Why, guys? If
On
you guys
social
try to
media?
look for her, you will not find her.
You will not find me though.
But you know what's funny? She studied media law.
Really?
I do. I do. Yeah, what's my opinion on social media? Let me start with saying that I think that there's huge potential in it if you use it for the right purpose. If we talk about social media usage for professional terms, then I'm absolutely on it. I feel like if there's a matter behind your use, if you use it for business life, professional matters, you can create something really impactful with that. But the reason why I'm not on social media, and this refers to the opposite side, this refers to the personal side of a person, of an individual, is because I know myself too well, and I know that it's a trap I can very easily step into. So whenever the time will come for me to use it for professional reasons, I will do so and I will make the best out of it. But I know, like, if I had social media just to put my images out of the world, to say what I'm eating, to say what I'm doing, I know I would be addicted to it, and I don't want to be that. I knew my phone would be the first thing to touch in the morning, and the last thing to touch in the evening, especially Instagram. And
Look at you being a loser. Okay, now I'm only joking. I'm joking.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I can use my time in different ways,
That's it.
To read books, Jerome.
That's
like you.
interesting.
To watch documentaries. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Yeah, Jerome. What's your take? What's your take there?
And
for me,
before you start, just let me interrupt you. I feel like everybody should do what he or she wants to with social media. This is just how I see it. This just refers to me. Like, this is not something I would, scream out to somebody.
Not literally
says,
what you want.
What's your
don't
advice
kill
on
cats
social media?
online. Don't
I
take
think-
off your
I think,
clothes
like,
unless you're a
reflection is
stripper or
key.
something.
I think social media has gone way too far. Now, don't get me wrong. I have a few. I'm on Instagram, but I barely. Like, I can't remember the last time I ever
Bro,
looked
is your
on
wife
Instagram.
using your Instagram? Because when you go to your Instagram, hold on, just 1 second, just before you start, let's just laugh for a second, man.
Don't even
Hold on.
know.
Everybody, there's Jerome, Kamara, because you always give JK, I'm like, what's Jerome doing? Like, bro, there's like beauty stuff. I'm like, is Jerome open up like beauty therapy thing?
No. There's we have this online thing, so it automatically puts up ads on Instagram and whatnot.
Oh, right.
Like I've barely been on Facebook, Instagram, and whatnot.
There's like houses.
And my thing is, you take an average person, right? From the minute they wake up, the first thing they go on is their social media.
I am
to
the
see
average person, ladies and gentlemen.
How many
I am
likes
not
they
like
got
them.
on a post from last night. Now, the amount of time that you spend on that, on average, I don't know,
I'm on social
there's this
media right
app,
now.
apparently, it will do the numbers on how much time you spend
On your screen.
on your screen.
It tells at the end of the week or end of the month. I hate
And
that thing.
but for me, I think it's a reality
Apple
check.
does that automatically
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
It's a reality check that you
You're
find
like,
that
shit.
you've lost so much time just staring at the screen, and what for? In most cases, look, if you look at how
For
many
likes.
kids have actually gone and committed suicide, the cyberbully, and kids feeling insecure, wanting to do all sorts of things because they think they should look like someone that they've seen on Facebook, on Instagram. For me, what I look at, it creates more insecurity in people because people want to be like the next person. But what people forget is what you see on Facebook and Instagram is not the reality of the situation.
That's true.
That's someone probably walking through town. They have on their Sunday best, right? And they go past maybe a Lamborghini and they take a shot. Now there you are, you're like, oh
Well,
shit.
some people there have a Lamborghini, unless you know somebody personally that actually do that. For me, I feel like there's pluses on social media. Obviously, this platform is also on social media. Talk2 Podcast, you already know. And also, there's people that do make money off of it now, especially now around this time, around the pandemic. What's happening now? For me, just before you go, for me, I've always felt like, because you know me, I'm all about truth. I'm all about confronting people front and center, and just be able to live free and all that. And for me, I felt like I could use my platform to spread inspiration, to be able to inspire people. And every time I post anything on my platform, I get a response for that. Because not just only that I am responsible for my own platform, it's like throughout the year before the pandemic, we hosted African Days. You talk to people, and I'm also a podcaster, and I'm also, I'm an MC as well outside of that. And for me, like yesterday, for instance, anybody who goes to my profile, you're gonna see that yesterday I posted, what was it? What did I post it again? I posted, hi, my name is PJ. I suffer from. Let me just go and look at this thing.
You don't know what you suffer from.
Hold on, no. It's just I forgot exactly. I don't want to say it wrong. I said I suffer from symptoms of abandonment. You understand? And I've got few people that replied to me and they say, kudos for you for going ahead and doing that. I suffer from the same thing. Some people said, what does that mean? Some people clapped, and some people. That was not me seeking
for
you? Seeking for attention. For me, that felt like taking the load off, because it's for reasons that I won't get to it in it here because of time, But because I felt like I've been stuck in this situation so much, especially in this dream so much, I have to be able to say this. You understand? Maybe one day we're going to talk about why I posted that exact post. But as soon as I posted that there, you understand? It was like, it's out there. Okay? And I'm one of those persons, like, I keep my life pretty much private. You understand? I'll post, I'm working out to motivate people. Obviously, that there's no gyms, whatever. And I'll ask people questions. Listen, guys, there's anti-mask and mask people, pro-mask. Which one you guys are, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. But in what I do or whatever, who I'm with and stuff like that, that is pretty much private to me. But that was one of those things that I feel like I need to let that out there and to be like, okay, that's it. Because I felt like I was going to get to a situation where I felt like I was like, bombarding too much in my head. I don't know if that's making sense. But anyway, I put that out there. That was that.
But you basically introduced what I just had in my mind. Regardless of professional or business or whatever, I feel like social media can be a huge mental support, especially these days.
Oh yeah. No, you're right about that. Yes.
So I don't want to deny that at all. And I mean, what do I do to keep my mind healthy? I talk to people, but I also listen to way more podcasts than I used to do before March 2020. And podcasts, that's a platform too. So maybe I'm addicted to these platforms. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe my addiction is not social media, but something else. So you can, again...
I mean, you can replace it with something else. It's possible.
Exactly.
I think we all do something on the web. We all have our little niches that, I'm into this kind of thing. Like my thing is motivation speakers.
Yeah.
That's my thing. That's what I listen to. When I get up first thing in the morning, I have my coffee, have my headphones on.
I used to do that
and I just go in and listen half an hour until my son wakes up. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I got that one in. And that keeps, that gets me going.
I used to do that. When I used to do that, I had to drive from Waterford to Wexford to go to college, Carlo IT, Wexford campus. And that was an hour drive, you understand? And every time I was driving, I would drive for 55 minutes to get to Wexford to go to college. I had to wake up at 7 in the morning every single day, 5 days a week, and drive over to Wexford, and then finish college around 4:30 or 5. Then drive for an hour back to Waterford at 6 o'clock and start my shift from 6 to 10. And for me, I used to put up, who is this guy? Les Brown. I used to put Les Brown.
It's good.
I used to put Les Brown, and I used to put, there's another young guy, American like this, I forgot his name, but I used to put both of them there. And sometimes they had some stuff about Sylvester Stallone from the movies. It was really good. You understand? And I used to put that stuff, and I'll listen to it while I get up. I'll get up every day just feeling tired. I'm like, why am I doing this? And I'll get up and I'll shower and I'll get dressed and I'll listen to that whole thing play in the morning and stuff like that. That thing will play for exactly about 45 minutes until I'm ready to go, or about 20 minutes till I'm ready to go, depending on what time I wake up. By the time, I always knew by the time I'm done getting dressed, my mind was on set. I got in my car, I put on the music, I was ready to go to college. I'll go to college. I
Nothing
did this.
beats that.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I've gotten to this stage now. I don't actually listen to motivation speak. I do every now and again, right? But I listen to famous speeches out of movies. You know how there's speeches out of movies, those really pep talks out of movies. Yeah, so now those are working for me lately.
I know,
get up
man. Because you get sick of listening to the same thing at the same time.
Oh,
you
yeah.
Understand? You say you get sick of listening to the same thing. I know one of my favorite one is like, if you do the same thing today that you did yesterday, you're stuck. And it says, I repeat, and there was music playing, and then it stopped saying, if you do the same thing that you did yesterday, today, or tomorrow, you're stuck. Now think about that. You're basically just repeating the same cycle again. And people get... Anyway, I don't want to get into it too much.
Einstein said the same thing as well. Einstein said something like, if his definition of madness is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
That's interesting.
That was Einstein, though. Yeah, I kind of read a little bit about that dude because he's interesting. His mind... Wow, some people have minds. That boy had minds. His mind was...
out of this world. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I will end this. Listen, actually, I want to say, did we get some pretty cool response from the second episode? The one we spoke about the young Shakur one and stuff. I'd be better. At least some people are saying, Jerome, you're not off a little bit. I remember the first...
What?
on the what was the second episode when you off a little bit, the third episode. But we get some few response, obviously. Some people are like, oh yeah, you two sounds like Morgan Freeman or whatever. By the way, I do not sound like Morgan Freeman. If you talk about Jerome, you're talking about Jerome, then that's probably...
Yeah, I ain't no Morgan Freeman.
I'm cool. But listen, thank you very much for listening. Okay, all the social media stuff is down there. They don't have any.
And speaking, just before we go, again, we're not criticizing. You do what works for you. I mean, look, I might not be into social media. I might not let my kid watch no TV, but that's just me. That's my perception. Reality is a matter of perception. So it depends on how you perceive things. If that works for you, by all means, I am here to judge. Who am I to judge? We're not here to judge. We're just throwing ideas there and, spreading the love. So, if you want to shout back. Let's discuss.
I agree, absolutely.
Hey, don't shout back at me. I'm not discussing nothing with you. Listen, you guys enjoy your day. Stay safe. Wear masks. Listen, next time we're going to talk about this anti-mask and the mask stuff. You see where this goes, okay?
Oh, God.
Understand? Stay safe. If you're feeling blue or something, find someone to call, or you can call me. You can talk to me anytime. Yours truly, the boy.
You don't ring me
Number
at
2,
night, though,
RULY.
no one will be pissed off.
Man, you don't have a social media anyway, man. No one's going to ring you, man.
Take care, people.